The night was shattered by a sudden rapping at my door, a sound that stirred me from my slumber. Jane and Joao, cloaked in robes that whispered of ancient rituals, held a candle that flickered like the hope within us. They beckoned us to follow, and we did, outside the tavern and towards the waterfall that hid secrets in its mist. There, under the moon's watchful eye, they began a ritual, their voices rising in praise to Miliki. As their chant reached its crescendo, a divine treasure materialized amidst the waterfall's fury. Armor, robes, and weapons, all kissed by the divine. Jane's voice, clear and true, explained that Miliki had bestowed her blessing upon us for the perilous mission ahead. But our moment of reverence was shattered by a cackle that sliced through the night. Swift Wing, a demonic creature with wings that blotted out the stars, mocked our gathering. She declared herself a harbinger, tossing a figurine to us before vanishing into the ether. Upon the figurine's base, a single word was inscribed: Womborf. With trepidation, I uttered the name, and the figurine vanished, leaving in its place a male high elf. Womborf, he called himself, an archer pirate by trade, no slave to any man. He pledged his bow to our cause, though we questioned his allegiance and his past, haunted by spirits. Our interrogation was cut short by Joao's frantic return, warning of an undead assault. We armed ourselves with the divine gifts and raced to the forest's edge where chaos reigned. The undead, those cursed souls, emerged from the shadows, hungering for life. Womborf sought higher ground, climbing the fences with elven grace, while Draven melded with the shadows, preparing his venomous strike. Valerian, our stalwart paladin, hurled his javelin into the dark woods, missing his mark but not his courage. He fell back, taking a defensive stance behind Draven. A zombie's touch is a curse, and I felt its chill as one grasped me. With a whispered word, I stepped through the mist, reappearing beyond its reach. Calling upon the rain, I wove a spell of ice, creating a frozen pond to halt our foes' advance. Draven struck true, his daggers finding their mark, while another zombie slipped upon my icy trap. Valerian, ever the beacon of light, dispatched the undead with righteous fury, his halberd singing a song of death. Above, Womborf battled a ghoul, his elven armor warding off its vile claws. He leapt higher, seeking refuge among the branches. With the immediate threat quelled, I dissolved the ice, allowing us safe passage. Draven, ever the silent predator, ventured deeper into the forest, his arrows finding new targets among the risen dead. The battle raged on, the night air filled with the sounds of steel and sorcery. Womborf, nimble and brave, faced the ghoul's relentless assault. One ghoul's claws found their mark, tearing through the fabric of his resolve. But Womborf's spirit remained unbroken. With a swift dance of steel, he dispatched one ghoul and wounded another, his short sword singing a deadly lullaby. Draven, the shadow that strikes fear, faced a zombie whose clumsy attack was as futile as its existence. Valerian, our beacon in the darkness, rushed to Draven's aid, his halberd a blur of motion. Yet the zombie stood defiant, mocking death itself. I, Elza, channeled the frost's biting kiss, casting rays of ice upon the shambling horde. The zombies reeled from the frozen onslaught, but their unholy vigor kept them upright. The ghoul, undeterred by Womborf's blades, lunged again, only to find its prey as elusive as the wind. Valerian, ever vigilant, faced another zombie's charge, his halberd ready to deliver salvation. Then, a ghastly scream pierced the night. Aghast, its very presence a blight upon the land. Its stench was a miasma that weakened the body and spirit, causing Draven to gag. Valerian, with a warrior's heart, dispatched the zombie before him, clearing the path for battle. In my attempt to freeze the ghast's foul heart, my focus wavered and the spell went astray. Sir Valerian, the noble paladin, lunged forward. His halberd found its mark, and the ghast crumbled into dust. Meanwhile, Womborf, our swift and agile ranger, stood his ground. His elven blades, gleaming silver, striking the foul ghoul creatures before him. We, the unlikely band of adventurers, sprinted toward Womborf, our hearts pounding in unison. Draven, the enigmatic dark elf, moved with a grace that belied his sinister reputation. He leapt over the fence, his midnight cloak billowing behind him. Sir Valerian, the noble paladin, struggled to hoist himself over the wooden barrier. His armor clanged and his face contorted with effort. But his unwavering faith fueled his determination, and with a final heave, he tumbled onto the other side. His halberd, radiant with holy light, awaited its purpose. The ghoul, its eyes hollow and desperate, lunged at Womborf. Time slowed as Womborf swiftly stroked the creature in the chest with his short sword. It stumbled, its claws inches from his throat. Draven circled another ghoul, his blades weaving a deadly dance. Blood sprayed, and the creature staggered, its rotting flesh hanging in tatters. But before Draven could deliver the killing blow, Sir Valerian lunged forward once more, his halberd singing through the air. The ghoul's head rolled, and its malevolence dissipated like smoke on the wind. Womborf, Valerian, and Draven. They stood victorious, the ghast and its minions vanquished. The dawn's light crept over the horizon, a promise of hope and renewal. We had survived the night, but this was but one chapter in our saga. The road ahead is fraught with peril, but we walk it together as champions of light.